You don't seemingly like your own character, so she comes off as an insufferable, whiny brat.
Something wrong with her. She's disturbed, she's unhappy, and she thinks it's about feminism and the patriarchy and about abortion. The reality is she's just not stable, like the majority of people in Hollywood. They're just not stable human beings.
Rachel Zegler just got hit with another blow, and this one's animated. South Park started the fire, but now the Simpsons and Family Guy are circling. And if what insiders are saying is true, things are about to get brutally funny, unless you're Rachel. South Park didn't mention Rachel Zegler by name, but they didn't have to. They created a character so painfully close to her. Fans barely had to squint. Same tone, same interviews, same fix the classics energy. They roasted Disney, they roasted feminism, and yeah, they roasted Snow White into ashes. And the wild part? It worked. That episode went viral, racked up millions of views, and lit up every Reddit thread from here to the castle gates. Clips flooded TikTok, YouTubers broke down every scene, fans created side-by-side comparisons of Rachel's real interviews and the South Park parody, and the results were almost identical. They really just animated her. One user joked, "No need to exaggerate when the footage writes itself." The show didn't just mock a movie, it cracked open a cultural moment. People were already frustrated with Disney's constant reboots and forced messaging. Rachel just happened to be the face of it when the dam broke. And the character? She was more than satire. She was a symbol of Hollywood's attempt to rewrite nostalgia into narrative therapy. And now, the Simpsons and Family Guy want their turn. They saw what South Park did, and they know there's still more left to roast. According to leaks, the Simpsons are working on a parody called Snow Woke, the reimagining. The lead character, a self-important princess who cancels her prince, lectures woodland creatures, and hosts town halls about systemic enchantment. It hasn't aired yet, but fans are already calling it brutal perfection. The design is allegedly spot on. Dramatic eyes, overly political monologues, and a wardrobe that screams influencer with a cause. The writers haven't confirmed it's about Rachel, but the entire internet already has. Reddit threads are titled "Simpsons About to End Snow White," and TikTok edits are already inserting Rachel's actual interviews into the leaked scenes for comparison. The resemblance, almost too real, and this isn't the first time The Simpsons has roasted Hollywood darlings. They've done it to Britney, Bieber, Ellen, Gaga, and now it looks like Rachel Zegler is next in line. One leak even claimed the episode ends with the princess sobbing about narrative reclamation before getting hit in the face with a pie made of non-GMO, gluten-free self-righteousness. The internet is living for it. Rachel's team, not so much. And while The Simpsons are still sharpening their satirical blade, another animated giant, Family Guy, is quietly preparing their own parody, but we'll get to that later in the video. And behind the scenes, Rachel's not finding it funny. Sources say Rachel's team immediately reached out to Fox, asking for the episode to be edited or pulled. The response? A polite but firm no. Same thing happened with South Park. Same thing's rumored with Family Guy. And now, she's reportedly furious. Furious at the shows, furious at the fans, furious at anyone who dares turn her empowerment journey into a punchline. Insiders close to the situation say Rachel feels singled out, that the jokes go beyond satire and are actively damaging her career. She allegedly views these animated takedowns as targeted harassment dressed in comedy, and she's not wrong about the impact. These aren't throwaway jokes. They're shaping public perception faster than any press junket ever could. One source claimed her team is monitoring the situation closely, while also looking into possible PR countermeasures to defend Rachel's brand and redirect the narrative. But the reality? The narrative is already out of her hands, and in the writers' rooms of the most savage comedy shows on TV. She's not thrilled, not laughing, and according to one rep, she's preparing to draw a line if Family Guy follows through. Whether that means legal threats, public statements, or silence, no one's sure yet. But what is clear, Rachel never imagined cartoons would become her biggest critics. But this whole mess started with one press tour that spun completely out of control. Rachel was cast as Snow White, a dream role, a legacy character, a Disney icon, and she used it to throw the original under a bus, and then drive that bus into a castle. She said the prince was creepy. She called the original story outdated and dangerous. And when asked about the romance, she smirked and said, "This Snow White doesn't need a man or anyone." Fans didn't cheer, they flinched. This wasn't a reimagining, it was a demolition. And Rachel, she wasn't building something new. She was standing on the ruins holding a Disney paycheck. This didn't come off as empowerment, it came off as disrespect, not just to the original creators, but to fans who grew up on that fairy tale. She framed the classic Disney magic as problematic. She dismissed its central themes, love, kindness, and innocence, in favor of buzzwords like leadership and self-narrative. Clips of her interviews exploded across social media. She trended for all the wrong reasons. TikTok flooded with side-by-side edits of Rachel mocking the 1937 film, while Walt Disney himself narrated scenes from the original. One user wrote, "She's not updating the character, she's acting like she's better than it." Another said, "This isn't feminism. It's ego dressed as a princess." The backlash wasn't subtle. Even casual fans, not political, not angry, just regular moviegoers, started saying the same thing. Why would I watch a movie when the lead clearly hates what it's based on? The movie dropped, and so did everything else. Disney poured over $300 million into Snow White, and by week 3, theaters were already pulling it. IMDb scores dropped to 1.6. Retailers pulled merch. Theme park promos were shelved. One exec reportedly called it the worst return on brand investment in Disney history. It wasn't just a flop, it was a warning shot to every other studio trying to fix what wasn't broken. And then came Minecraft. The Minecraft movie, starring Jason Momoa and Jack Black, dropped with little controversy, almost no press drama, and opened to over $500 million globally in just days. It crushed Snow White's total in its opening weekend. Sources say that when Rachel saw the numbers, she lost it. She reportedly felt humiliated, not just because of the success, but because of what Minecraft represented. A goofy, lighthearted, unapologetically fun movie that fans actually wanted to see. While she was giving press lectures, Minecraft was giving people something they could enjoy without being lectured. And the difference showed up in the box office. Executives started whispering, fans started comparing, and memes started flying. $300 million for a TED Talk versus $500 million for Blocks. And as the numbers tanked, the memes rose. Then came Rachel's TikTok moment. She posted herself twirling in an empty theater, holding Snow White merch like it was a trophy. She called it a special night. The internet called it a hostage video with popcorn. Comments exploded. She's the only one who showed up. This isn't a premiere, it's a punishment. The clip was stitched, remixed, and memed into oblivion. And just like that, Rachel Zegler became a walking punchline. People added sad violin music, some cutting clips from South Park and The Simpsons over her spins. One edit showed her twirling while the Titanic theme played, but instead of a ship sinking, it was Snow White at the box office. Even influencers who once supported her quietly deleted their posts. Fan pages turned private. The comments got so brutal, some were filtered before she could even respond. The moment was meant to be sincere. Instead, it confirmed everything people were already saying, that Rachel was out of touch, still playing pretend while the kingdom around her crumbled. What should have been a soft, emotional promo turned into a full-on meme disaster. And while she spun in circles on TikTok, everyone else, including her co-stars, moved on. But while fans roasted her, Gal Gadot just stepped out of the way. They were supposed to be Disney's next iconic duo. But when Rachel started spiraling, Gal hit mute. At the Oscars, the tension was obvious. Gal looked like she wanted to disappear. Rachel looked like she wanted to be loved. And the internet noticed. Gal never posted about the movie, never defended Rachel. Insiders say she distanced herself early and let the storm hit one side of the stage. And the silence didn't end there. Candace Owens posted that Rachel Zegler was the face of everything wrong with Hollywood's fake feminism. Ben Shapiro called Snow White a $300 million lecture no one asked for, and labeled Rachel arrogant, joyless, and catastrophically miscast. Even lesser-known celebrities started jumping in. One former Disney Channel actress tweeted, "You don't get to trash the classics and act shocked when fans turn on you." What should have been a moment of empowerment turned into a full-blown culture war. And Rachel was suddenly at the center of it all. And just when it couldn't get worse, the internet got cruel. An AI-generated OnlyFans profile surfaced. Fake, but believable enough to fool thousands. People actually thought it was her. Rachel was never involved, but the fact that people believed it said everything. The comments were brutal, screenshots went viral, and for days her name trended next to NSFW content she had nothing to do with. Her image was already so messy, so controversial, so clickbait worthy, and the fake became real for a minute, and her PR team silent again. But it wasn't just the internet backing away. Hollywood followed. After the flop, the drama, and the memes, Rachel didn't get canceled. She got quietly removed from the conversation. Projects got delayed indefinitely. No new announcements, no press invites, no red carpet appearances. Industry chatter shifted. She went from next-gen Disney queen to PR nightmare in under a year. One insider said it best: she's not blacklisted, she's just not worth the trouble. And now, the animated world is doing what the industry won't say out loud. Family Guy is reportedly working on its own Snow White episode. The pitch: harsher than South Park, meaner than The Simpsons. And if it goes forward, it'll mark a rare moment in TV history. 3 major animated shows, all dragging the same real-life actress. Insiders say the Family Guy writing team has been circling this topic since Rachel's Romance is Weird clip went viral. The episode is allegedly built around a woke princess character who cancels the royal ball, files a restraining order on the prince, and hosts a podcast from inside a glass coffin. And yes, it's as savage as it sounds. Sources close to the show say this won't just be parody, and it's a scorched earth roast, aimed squarely at Hollywood's obsession with turning classic characters into platforms for virtue signaling. And in their eyes, Rachel Zegler is the poster child, from rising star to recurring gag. This isn't just about Snow White flopping, it's about what she represents: a wider frustration with studios forcing reinvention over resonance. Rachel Zegler isn't just the face of a failed film, she's the punchline of a cultural shift. So now the question isn't whether these shows are going too far, it's this: when 3 of the most savage shows on TV all roast the same star, can she ever recover? Let me know in the comments.